Okay, day one summary. I'm on the Ottawa Temiskaming Highland Trail. It's May the 2nd. Started out in Thorne, Ontario at the nurses station. Hiked about 15 kilometers, got to Porcupine Creek. And to get across Porcupine Creek, I had to go across a log. So there's this a 2-foot diameter log. I could stand on the top of it with both feet on it side by side. It's a big log, probably 25 feet long. Creek was pretty, lots of water going through it. It's wasn't very deep, but deep enough. So it's I get about 2/3 of the way out and across, and I got both my trekking poles, and I'm kind of feeling along, using the trekking poles to kind of support myself on the log, and get my trekking poles out ahead of me, and I realize my front foot is slipping. It's the log had debarked up there at that end, and so the first 2/3 of the way was good. There's bark on the log, and so I take my first step out onto the spot with no bark, and foot starts to slide. So I kind of lean into my trekking poles, and they're sliding too. So this is feeling like ice, right? It's not ice, but just the log was moist, and I didn't have any friction with my shoes at all. So I got 1 foot behind me. My front foot is slipping, and my trekking poles are slipping. So I got 3 of my 4 points of contact aren't good. But at that point, I can't go back. I wasn't stable, and so I kind of lean into my trekking poles a little bit and take another step. Well, so then now I have 4 points of contact with with no good ground under me. So I start to slide, and I realize I'm going to fall off this log. So I kind of pushed off and jumped into the water. So I land on my feet. It wasn't too bad. I'm about knee deep in the water, and then I got a 35-pound pack on. So as soon as that catches up with me, it starts to pull me backwards. So I go down. I'm on my butt at that point, and still pack is still pulling me backwards. I'm up to my shoulders in water at that point. But this is a rushing little creek. It's not still water. So I'm like trying to keep my head above water, right? So I'm not going to drown or anything, and it's not very deep. But it's so. Anyways, I'm get myself back up onto my feet, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm only 15 clicks into a 144 kilometer trip. Thinking, my trip's probably done, right? So anyways, I looked down. So I had a GoPro mounted on my trekking pole, and when I fell backwards, I must have it broke off. So anyways, I lost my GoPro. It's down the creek someplace. Fishes are playing with it. And I had a bunch of good footage and for the day, and I thought I'd do up some good videos. Pull myself out of the water. I'm thinking, oh, I hope my pack's not full of water, because I got a down sleeping bag. It's May. It's May the 2nd, so I mean, it can be down below freezing here at night, and so I'm thinking, well, I don't know what I got to do here. So I pull off to the side, and I'm now on the other side of the tree trunk again now too. If I have to go back, I have to go back across it. So I didn't I could shimmy it or whatever, but I go go over, open up my pack. Inside of my pack's dry. It was underwater, and so I'm pretty impressed. My this X pack material is pretty waterproof. So I had most of the stuff inside was inside I have a Polycro pack liner, and so it's like a garbage bag inside of it. So all that stuff bone dry, right? Anything, even anything I had outside of it was bone dry. So I'm pretty happy about that. Tells me it's the pack's gonna hold up. But anyways, yeah. So there I am. I'm deciding. I'm soaked. I'm soaked from the shoulders down, including feet, everything. So I'm sloshing around in my shoes, and pants are wet, shirt's wet. I think, what do I got to do? All right. I don't really want to hike 15 clicks back to the car and then drive another 6 hours tonight to get home. I mean, that didn't really appeal to me. So anyways, with all my gear dry, I decided to keep going. I got spare clothes. I actually wore what I had on, and it dried on me. And yeah, so it's made it to my first campsite here at Green Creek. I'm at kilometer 26, and yeah, it's 8 o'clock at night here, 8 or 8:30. It's sprinkling out. I'm just eating up a bit of supper, and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm beat. That is yeah, day one update. I was up Porcupine Creek without a GoPro, so unfortunately, that was my GoPro I was gonna take on the Great Divide Trail. So I have to figure out something else now.